On this episode, we install some bright yellow seatbelts. We replace a clutch master cylinder. We find out an S2000 is a computer-controlled vehicle. And I find out you can't buy time. And you can't buy time. So it is Yellow Car Monday. Well, partly. This one is here for fluids. This is our good customer, Diego. Done a lot for him. I'll show you this car. This gets better and better every time I see it. He's adding to it all the time. This is someone that just came in and said, listen, master cylinder went out. We told them how to put fluid in it and pump it up, but it definitely needs a master cylinder. It's going to leave them stranded. We're going to do this one first, and then we'll talk about that one. This new OEM master cylinder, which of course, this is the part that you can see, the reservoir. He put fluid in and pumped it up, but as you see, kind of looks like chocolate. That is just going to fail. And then when it fails, it typically takes out your clutch, because then you try and work the clutch to make it work, and then it doesn't go in gear, and then you force it in gear, then you damage your transmission, which I hate to see someone do all that much damage over just a master. This is our coffee of choice now, by the way, if you haven't seen it on the past video. This is fantastic. We've all started drinking this.
Yeah, Esther did not want that one, did I?
She didn't?
Nope.
Oh, well, what did you get her?
What do we usually get? The sugar-free vanilla.
Oh, all right, so let's look at this master. See what we're looking at here, see how bad it is. Kind of taking you along for the ride. Might make this video like a vlog video, so you see me do all kinds of stuff that isn't edited and cut. There you see the yuck in there? Well, sometimes when you look behind this plasticky, you see, sometimes you'll see it. It'll actually run down here when it gets really bad. You see it splashed up on the plastic right here, but you'll see it sometimes run down there. It goes behind the carpet. Definitely something you should address. Also, you see that red wire right there? It's almost certainly a stereo wire. Now, back in the day, I used to try and remake everybody's car if I didn't like the look of it, but now I know to keep my fingers out unless it's something I did. I can recommend it, but this right here is power, this is ground. If this gets stuck over here and you slam that pedal down, you're grounding that cable. Well, it almost certainly should have a fuse.
It does.
Okay, so it's gonna go pop, it pops the fuse. But it's still just not a good idea. That should be in a better position.
I'd also like to recommend anyone doing a stereo on one of these, there's a grommet right behind the battery. You pull the battery out, there's a grommet down there on the firewall. Run your power wire down the passenger side.
Yeah, as opposed to running it across the hottest portion
all
of
the way
the
over
engine.
here, across the engine, down underneath your pedals.
Yeah.
Go down there. There's nothing over there.
Yeah. We should do an episode on where to put your power wire when you're putting a amp. Oh, wait a second.
What'd you find?
This is a computer-controlled vehicle, George.
Oh yeah?
Ah.
I'm gonna go and put the tools away. I had the tools that do the master cylinder.
Nope. No, we're done. This one is, of course, supercharged, so we're gonna let this one drain through the AN before we start doing anything else. That's one of those Florida days. Looks like it's gonna storm all day. This was the master that we just took out. See how bad that is? There is the new one in there. It's adjusted, everything's good. We can call that customer and say, time to pick it up. These are the race ramps I talked about in one of the past videos, and a few people said, you know what, they're insanely expensive, which they are. I think when we bought them, they were in like the $250 range. Now these are like $350, $360, something like that, which is a lot. But here's the thing, when you jack the car up, there's a risk. This is the jacking point right here. You see the double material right there? If everything goes well, you jack it up, everything's fine. You can put the jack stands under and work on it, but I've seen so many people slip off there and the jack hits this and trashes the fender. And all of a sudden, $375 is cheap compared to fixing that. And then worse, if the car falls on you. I don't mean to sound doom and gloom, but there was someone at S2KI that had a car fall off jack stands. So all of a sudden, there is a value to these these ramps, and they're very, very light. There is some ones on Harbor Freight that somebody told me about. I went to go look at them at Harbor Freight, And to be honest, they suck. I wouldn't put those into service if they were free. These are a nice gradual ramp. Even for lower cars, you're not going to worry about jamming into that. It's not going to slip. So definitely worth the money. Again, it's a lot of money, but good things usually are.
Did you reset the computer to the Clutch Master?
I did. I updated the firmware on the Master.
So it's good now?
It's good.
Okay.
Yeah. Checking the engagement point right now. Everything feel good? Does it need adjusting?
I'd like to bring it up a little bit.
It's just had a major monsoon, so it just stopped. We're going to move these cars around while it's stopped, because he's coming to pick this one up. This one still has to be taken apart. We're going to send this one out. This was the new one that was in my CRX that I had problems with going to the Dragon that time, if you remember that video. This is a dinosaur. Any of you guys old enough to remember this? And that's an early S100. 290. Should almost call Matt at Honda and say, hey, is this something I used? But I feel like we're gonna have to put this in the LHT museum, because you just don't get this anymore. I might actually call Matt. All the fluids are done on this, including the black hoses. You remember it had those yucky clear hoses. He wanted rid of those, so now it has braided hoses there, and then we have a black hose right there. This is his Instagram. If you want to go ahead and look him up, look up this car. I'll show you some more on this car. This car is fantastic. Well, one thing is added to it, and we can accommodate it. Look at all the carbon, Alcantara, CR seats. It wants to do yellow seat belts, and it just so happens we have a set in stock, so we're going to make that happen. So talking to Matt at Honda, this was sold to Secret Services in 2003. So I might have actually bought this through Secret Services. And I'm still a friend with John, which owned Secret Services. We used to call him Dyno John, because we used to rent his dyno back in the early 2000s. So there you go, a little tidbit from the past. That is the factory seatbelt, what it looks like when you remove it. Part of this we do need. We're going to need this bolt and the spacers and such to put on the new one. There's the new ones. Look how cool that is. That's money. Kind of hard to see in this light. The only negative to yellow seatbelts is, and somebody said this too, is they're going to get dirty. Well, I showed a demonstration on ours. What I do is I hold the buckle. So when you grab the buckle, hold it like this and plug it in. Don't grab the belt. And we have a customer that has bright yellow belts, and like 2 years on, they're still perfect. So there you go. There's a quick tip. Our car has red, and I don't want to touch them. I've done pretty good at keeping ours nice and bright. My fingers are dirty all the time. This one's actually has the bolt in there.
Yeah, sometimes they do. Depends on what we send them with.
Depends how we shipped them, yeah. Look at that, they're beautiful. Again, looking through the camera, these almost look orange.
Oh, really?
Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Those through there?
Depends on where the light and shadows is.
Yeah, but yeah, bright yellow. That's awesome. It's gonna go with the whole look. But yeah, grab this buckle like this and pull it that way. It's not too bad. It's pretty easy. Very nice. Love it. These are our seatbelt colors right here. It's done by Seatbelt Planet. They're the proper webbing. It's the proper stitch. Everything is done right. We don't do the eBay stuff. We don't sell these online, and I don't sell yours. I don't sell you a set and then hope for you to send me a core and all that stuff. I've done that over the years. I don't do that anymore. People just have ruined it for us. We'll supply a core and get your seatbelts done and install them for you. Give you an idea. This is the color that's going in the yellow S2000, the perfect match for the S2000. This is the orange I used for the NSX. That one right there, my 2019 NSX, that was perfect. A lot of people have done orange and different colored seatbelts in NSXs since then. This is our red that we use in our car and on many S2000s, where it's cobalt blue. This one, beautiful color. We have this in Del Sol Christian's S2000. He's got the blue and white theme going on, but this is our options. We can have a belt set done for you and then install it here. And if you don't like your car, you can even get your seatbelts done in brown. And that would tell everybody I hate my seatbelts. That's the only color I could find that describes my love for the belts. Anyway, a lot of different options here. There's a color that would match, whether you're going for a pink and white combo, you want to do orange and white, you want to do red and black. We have the options here for you. That's actually a really nice match. It looks, when you move around, if you watch the camera, depending on this, because it's got so much black, and just this almost looks like a mustard color at times, especially against a bright yellow. But that is pretty much dead nuts. And look at that as a bonus.
Some Gucci shades.
Some Gucci shades. These were behind or jammed under the seat. Wonder how long ago he lost those.
Down there with a roll of duct tape and some spray on sunscreen.
Well, there they are. He's going to be happy to get those back. There it is. This one's done. All the maintenance is done. Black hoses, yellow seat belts. We can call him and he can come and get it. This is our next job, and it came in with a bit of a limp. We've been told it thinks it's bent valves. I'm going to give you a quick look when this thing starts. Long story, we built this car 18 years ago. There is water coming down the tailpipe. This is off the red Integra, which sold in the titanium piping. But it's kind of, he wanted us to pull the top end off, and he has all the parts to put valve springs, retainers, head gasket, such. Just looking at that, that's not valve guides or something like that. It, to me, kind of seems like it's broken a block. It's got coil unplugged. This was done recently when we built it. It was old school distributor. We're going to pull the plugs out and have a look, because to be honest, if we look at it from our standpoint, if we take all this apart and separate all the parts and put it in boxes, it's going to be into us for X amount of hours, plus boxes of oily stuff in the trunk. Then he needs a motor. Then it all has to go back together months later. All those things, even though if we itemize them properly, it's still a pain finding all those parts. So we're going to kind of diagnose it the best we can and then advise him. I hate to say it, but I think it needs a motor. From what I remember, this is a piston rod motor. I did pistons, rods, ARP head bolts, and this was essentially the LHT 400 turbo kit. We used to typically run about 400 wheel horsepower. It was just a good, safe, reliable number back then. Take you along for the journey right here. Don't know well you can see this. This is number one right here. Number one on a B motor is on this end. Timing belt side, pretty much timing belt side is number one on all Hondas. It's all kind of glistening down there. But that one right there, that one looks bad.
Fluids in there.
I never want to give the customer that news. You never want to give the customer bad news at all, but yeah, it's mixing big time in it.
Yeah.
It literally poured out the tailpipe.
I don't know if this is a stock bottom end either.
No, if I remember rightly, back in these days, I did CP pistons. Either CP or the early ones I did JEs until I realized I didn't like JEs back then. Every single piston was different. Number 3 is really wet too.
I think that's from mixing somewhere.
Okay. And he should have forged rods, ARP head bolts was my basic build. So we brought it out TDC. We're just going to put air in that cylinder and see where. Woo.
Definitely come out of there.
Oh yeah. Yikes. Yeah. Well, that kind of agrees with our. No. Well, the fact that there was water in there, and you can see it spraying out the wastegate in places. That's the worst one.
That's empty too.
That's going back through the crankcase when you do that. creaking everywhere. It's a cracked sleeve. Yeah, that's not good. So we're gonna call him. One of the last things we wanted to do is charge him to take this thing apart and put all the little parts in boxes. I feel like I told you this yesterday. It's the next day, by the way. So let's contact him, see if we can come up with a plan. I think it'd be best just to get a motor and build it and source it and then change this all over in a couple of days, as opposed to over a course of weeks with the engine in pieces. This one is actually saved for a customer. He prepaid for this. He's coming in. We said we were not going to do these bags anymore just because they were so expensive and they took up a lot of room and having to keep a part number for 05 and 06 and up. So we have some more coming in. We're going to make them more universal. So there is going to be 2 different toggles on here, because there's an inch difference when you put the bags from the 05 and 06 and up. There's an inch difference, and the bag is the same, just these little loops. So we're going to make them universal. So it's going to have 2 sets of loops, so it'll fit both cars. That way we only have to carry 1 bag, and it fits all the cars. So look out for that. It's coming back. If you don't see it in stock, go ahead and click notify me. The master cylinder braces for the Strut Bar Friendly should be here today. They're at anodizing. They're just going to get lasered, and they'll be here. We're excited about this. If you already have your notify me in the store, as soon as it comes in, we'll ship it to you. If not, go ahead and click notify me. We ran out of these. We just got a few more in, and we're completely out of these. These have been selling like crazy. This is one of those things that until you use it, you don't realize how cool it is. We'll have more in. Hopefully by the time you see this video, we'll have another batch of those in. We still have a few Civic filter inches left. We have the replacement S2000 cap, just in case yours is all scratched up from your mechanic using pliers on it or a hammer or whatever he did to get it on and off. We have a few S2000 t-shirts left. I think these are almost gone. And we have a few OEM Plus shirts left. We're going back to blue for the summer. So if you guys were the ones that kept telling me, hey, when are you getting blue? When are you getting blue? It's coming back. So today is my day off. I talked about this in a past video. A good friend of mine, Jerry, kept telling me, make sure you take 1 day off a month. And that's something that we do. And it's not just me being, hey, I'm the owner, you go work and I'll go play golf or that kind of thing. I make sure that Esther and George do it too. And it's a paid day. We take 3 weeks paid vacation is what I do here. And we have 1 day a month. And we kind of select that day based on how much work we have. We basically fit it in. Well, there was a certain day that George wanted off. He's going to a concert. So Esther said, okay, you can have that day. We have work scheduled. John can do that work, and then John can take this other day off, which is today. This is my day off. This isn't my bedroom, by the way. This is the shop, because I'm not off. I have a bunch of things I got to do, and I can't turn it off. Not to mention I'm editing this video, so you guys can watch it. My point being, you can't buy time. All the money that you've made, all the work that you've done, all the overtime, all that extra behind the scenes that nobody knows about, you can't buy it back. If you hit the lotto, you can't buy that time back. So that's why we take 1 day off a month. That way, it usually ends up being a 3-day weekend. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe right here. We'll see you on the next one. And as I always say, and I really mean this, enjoy your cars.